If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
Hi, Tops. Welcome out. It is Monday Night Live in Timonium. And let me be the first to introduce one of the members of your AFC North champion Baltimore Ravens. He is Brendan Ayanbadejo.
All the diehards came out tonight. Thank you. I know I don't have a guest, so usually everybody comes out to see the guest, but I'm glad you guys.
We're here to see you!
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now, we don't have a guest, we don't have a player, but we do have a special member. Morning Reaction host Drew Forrester has decided to grace us with his presence.
This is my payment right here, huh?
That's right. He wasn't good enough for the regular season, but the postseason, he's good.
You get a little 6x4 glossy.
I'll take it.
Nice.
I'll take it.
Now, obviously, BA, you guys went to Cincinnati. Lots of talk all week. Could the Ravens get it done on the road? I know many experts in town had their doubts. And you guys, yeah, Drew's ducking right now. I have to admit I need to duck as well, but you guys got it done. You pull out the win 24-16, AFC North champions. It's 24 hours later. How's it feel?
I mean, it feels good. It really hasn't set in yet, but next week when we're sitting at home watching the other teams play and just picking out who we're going to play, it's going to set in. So Drew's kind of up here. He's bringing down our handsomeness right now. He's making us uglier than we need to be. We were real handsome before he came up here, but
I picked against you because you never played well on the road all year. Not you, but
okay. So what happened when we went and played the Steelers?
Well, different story that day.
What happened against the Browns?
That's what we all want to know. Yeah, that's what we want to know. What happened? I'm just giving you grief.
You saw Raven football. That's what you saw, and that's what you saw for 8 games at home as well. So.
Yeah,
we had 4 slip-ups on the road, and it happens. They get paid too. They're professional players as well.
Right. I asked John this today. Is there in the press conference on Monday, the 8-0 home record and the 4-4 road record? Is there anything you put your finger on and say this is what we did differently at home, or this is the mistake? These are the mistakes we made on the road. Was there any one thing you could put your finger on?
I mean, there was a combination of things. The defense didn't play as stiff as it needs to be. We didn't feed Ray Rice enough like we need to. But, for every different circumstance, different things arise. There's the game in Seattle. We got down early, so you're not going to sit there and run the ball when you're already down, because of special teams. But if you ask any coach in the NFL, they're going to tell you, win all your home games and split all your road games, and you should win your division. And that's pretty much the formula that every coach uses. So you go 8-0 at home, and you go 4-4 on the road, and that's a formula for success. And we did it this year, and it worked out. So I think that's, coming into the NFL, when you hear that, you're like, man, 8-0 at home, that's going to be tough. And then to go on the road, okay, 4-4, that's achievable. So, we did it, though. We actually went 8-0 at home for the first time in Raven history and swept our division, and 4-4 on the road, and that's just a formula for success, and that's what we did. So I can't really complain about it, or it doesn't matter who the opponents are. Some teams maybe we should have lost to. We're picked to lose to certain teams, and we beat them, and there's teams we're picked to win, and we lost against them. But at the end of the day, we're still 4-4 and won the division and number 2 seed in the AFC.
Now, BA, from day one of training camp, you guys, and really going back to the loss in Pittsburgh last January, you guys talked about wanting to win the division, beating Pittsburgh, getting a first-round bye, and playing a playoff game or multiple playoff games, depending on how this shakes out over the next few weeks at M&T Bank Stadium. Now that you have the bye, is it a strange feeling knowing that we're in the playoffs, we're in the divisional round already, we don't have to go through 60 minutes of football to do that, but you're waiting now to see who your next opponent's going to be? Is it a feeling that it doesn't feel like it really sinks in until this coming weekend when you figure out who exactly you're going to be facing?
I mean, it'll be real nice to just sit at home and watch football. You get to watch college football, you get to watch NFL, a couple bowl games, and you're just relaxing with your family. And these other, there's 12 teams left, and 8 of them are going to be battling out to play, the teams that got byes. But this is my 3rd time winning a division title and having a bye game. So it's something, I've been to the playoffs 6 times now, and half of those playoffs that I've been to, I've had a first-round bye. So for me, I'm pretty much used to it. Half the time, that's standard for my career, So it'll just be good to sit at home and just get that rest, and the coaches get to dial up some game plans against 2 different teams and then cut it down to 1 team, So it gives us an extra week on our opponent. And we're sitting in a good position, and this is the position we need to be in. We said there's two ways to get to the Super Bowl. There's the hard way and there's the hardest way, and we're going to do it the hard way and not the hardest way.
Gary Stills used to say, I know you know Gary from, he was a great special teamer like you, who used to say that he loved when he got to play which wasn't much as a linebacker, because he felt like it vindicated him as a football player, and that he wasn't just a guy who ran down on kickoffs and chased guys on punts and stuff. Do you feel the same way that, especially this season, you've played a lot? Chuck obviously puts a lot of value in you, especially in passing situations. Do you feel vindicated like that when you get to play linebacker as much as you've played it and done well?
Yeah, well, it's a strange feeling because I always told myself I've always been an underdog, first of all. So I wasn't the best player on my high school football team. Then I went to junior college. I wasn't offered any scholarships, and I was an underdog there and got a scholarship to UCLA. And then I didn't start at first. And then eventually I started, and the coach said, you know, I'm one of the best players on the team, but you're not the best player on the team. And then he told me you'll get a shot to play at the NFL, and you might only get one, so don't screw it up. And I didn't get drafted after being a Pac-10 linebacker, and I never even played special teams until I got to the NFL, and you know I got into the NFL the hard way, getting cut 3 times, and so I always told myself I'm going to make the NFL. When I get there, I want to be the best at something, and I never really got a chance to be the best at defense. You know, I can't say I wasted my career on special teams, but I'm not nearly the player that I was 4 or 5 years ago. You know, after my surgery and being 35, so you know the best years of my career, health-wise, were on special teams, and now that I'm playing defense, and not only am I playing defense, but I'm playing for the #1 defense over the last 10 years in the NFL. And one of the best defenses in the NFL this year. Yeah, I would say it's some vindication, but I did everything that I had planned to do and everything that I dreamed of doing. That was being the best at something in the NFL. And so now everything that happens now is just icing on the cake. But I don't know if you call it vindication. You know, there's kind of 2 ways to look at it. You know, I think I've superseded everything that I want to do, and then at the same time, I still feel like I have a lot to prove. So I don't know. That's a good question. So some days I feel like I could have done so much more with my career, and other days I feel like, man, I'm living the dream, and this is right where I should be. So for me, I just want to keep working. I want to help contribute to this team and win a championship. And then when I win a championship, then I can say it's all been done. It doesn't matter how much or how little I play. As long as I get that ring, then in the end, it'll all be the right thing.
Now, B.A., you've been through this a few times. In Chicago, you just said you've had a division title, you've had a first-round bye. Tell us a little bit what that locker room was like last night for the veterans, but more so for the rookies. I mean, they haven't been through this before. I know it's always special for you guys no matter how many times you do it, and we talked about it last week and the last couple weeks, but for those rookies to see them experience what it means to win a division title, to know that, hey, the regular season's over now, and this gets real now, the postseason is coming. Just tell us what that scene was like in the locker room.
I think it's more special for a guy like Ray Lewis, a guy that's never swept the division, a guy that's never won all the games at home. The rookies, they kind of come in and they think, okay, I'm going to make the playoffs every year. I'm going to win Super Bowls. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And, you know, you end up being like Dan Marino, not ever getting there, you know. So it's more special to look on Ray Lewis's face or Ed Reed's face and see them do things that they've never done. And they've done almost everything there is that you could do, especially Ray. He already has a Super Bowl ring. He talked about that last night. But he's just so excited to play at home in Baltimore and the chance to play more than one game at home in Baltimore. So just to look on his face and his energy is going to say a lot more than any rookie. You know, a lot of the rookies, when they want to come up and talk to us on the plane, we don't even let them up let them up in our section. You're like, nah, your ID only got you to the area where the veterans sit. It doesn't get you inside, so you got to stand back there. So we kind of take the rookies and shove them aside. But we love their energy and everything that they do for us, but I get more excited to see the veterans react and how excited that Double J is or Sizzle is or guys that have been around, and especially 4 years since I've been here putting this whole program together, how excited Joe Flacco is, and these guys that we haven't had a home game in Baltimore, playoff game. So it means a lot more to the guys that have been putting in work for 4 years, that have been here and been on the road and winning all those road playoff games over the last 3 seasons.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.